Hello, we are on Section 4 of life insurance, taxation, retirement, and other life insurance concepts. Third-party ownership. We talked already about it is possible to own insurance on whomever you have insurable interest in. I can own insurance on my spouse, my children, a key person in my business. Let's say that I own insurance on my husband. His name is Bruce. I am the owner. He is the insured. The insurance company is the third party. So there's a total of 3 parties in that story. We know insurable interest must be present at time of application. We know that if I am buying insurance on Bruce, he's an adult, he will have to sign the application as well. Assignment may occur if I own a policy on the life of a child. So let's say that I own insurance on my son Max. I may make an absolute assignment, which is a permanent change of owner's rights, as early as when he turns the age of majority in this state. So we will use the age of 18. It is true the age of majority does vary by state. So you can make an absolute assignment on a policy owned on the life of a child as early as age of majority. Now what that would do would give Max the right as an owner to take out a loan, the right to stop paying his premium, the right to change his beneficiary. But let's see how this would actually work. Let's say Max, he's 5. I own insurance on Max. Lord forbid he should die. Where would the money go? To me. I'm the owner. I'm also the beneficiary. Let's say that Max is now 18. I make an absolute assignment to Max. Lord forbid he should die. Where would the money go? Still to me, unless it said who changed the beneficiary to be his girlfriend, Sarah. If it doesn't say that, I will assume all I've done is transferred over to him the owner's right, which includes the right to change the beneficiary, but in and of itself does not change the beneficiary. So I would still be listed as the primary beneficiary. Do beneficiaries ever sign anything? No. Beneficiaries who your life insurance face amounts go to never sign anything. You can buy insurance on a minor. Of course, they are too young to sign anything as well. Group life insurance. A group policy is owned by the employer, and the group needs to be formed together for purposes other than buying life insurance. So you can't just group together all of your sick friends to buy life insurance. So group life, the owner of the policy is the employer. The employee gets a certificate of insurance. So the employee gets a certificate of insurance, but it is the employer that owns the policy. Can you group together just to buy insurance? No. How many must you have to form a group does vary by state. So make sure that you review your state law to know the least that you can have to form a group for life insurance. Now, remember, the point of doing something nice for your employees for a business typically is to get a write-off. So the employer, let's say, pays 100% of the premiums. That is called a non-contributory group. If the premiums are paid 100% by the employer. Now, the employer gets a tax deduction for whatever they do that's to the benefit of the employee. Now, this policy is for the benefit of the employee. The employee names the beneficiary. If the employee dies, the money goes to their beneficiary. That is why the premiums paid for by the employer are tax deductible as a business expense for the employer. If it's a non-contributory premium, 100% of all eligible employees must enroll. Why wouldn't you? It's free. So everybody that's eligible, which for purposes of life insurance will say full-time, must be enrolled in this group. You could also, however, have a contributory premium. A contributory premium is one that is shared, a portion paid for by the employer and a portion paid for by the employee. So let's give an example. Let's say 80% of the premium is paid for by the employer and 20% is paid for by the employee. That's what those are for employer, E for employee. How many must enroll in this group? 75% of all eligible employees must be enrolled in this group. So this is what is called the participation percentage. It is required to prevent adverse selection. Adverse selection is when only bad risks sign up for life insurance. Think about it. If it's a contributory premium, the employee has to pay 20% of their life insurance premium. Who's more likely to sign up? The 23-year-old just out of college that's in good health, or the 55-year-old with a heart condition? The 55-year-old is, of course, and that's bad for the insurance company. So you do need to know non-contributory premiums, 100% must enroll. Contributory premiums, 75% must enroll. Otherwise, the insurance company does not have to sell that group policy. Now, group life insurance is usually term insurance. Term is much less expensive than whole life. It doesn't have to be term, but it is usually term. It would just be really expensive for the employer to buy all of their employees whole life. So it's typically annual renewable term. When you have group life, if you quit or get fired, you have the grace period. Now, the grace period on group life, as a review, is 31 days. So if you quit or get fired, you have the grace period of 31 days to choose, regardless of your health, you may, no matter your health, without a physical, without proving insurability, choose to convert to an individual whole life policy. You are allowed to convert however much life insurance you had through your group to whole life, no matter your health. If you had dependents covered on your group life insurance policy, they would have the right to convert as well. You have 31 days to do it. It's going to be more expensive because it's whole life, and your conversion is available no matter your health. It is based on your current, sometimes called attained age, not your original age, but your current age. So let's say that the face amount that you had was $50,000. You had it in group life. You're working at your employer. If you die, $50,000 goes to your spouse. Let's say that's who you have chosen as a beneficiary. Tax-free to the beneficiary, of course. The premiums that were paid by your employer were tax deductible to the employer. You quit or you get fired. How many days do you have to convert? 31 days. You had term. You can go from term to something more expensive. Whole life, with or without a physical, regardless of health. Regardless of health. Based upon original or current age, always based upon current age. And that is the right of conversion. Then we make a transition and we talk about retirement plans. Retirement plans fall into two broad categories. There are those plans that are qualified, which means they follow certain guidelines so they get some tax preferential treatment. And there are those plans that are non-qualified. So we're talking about in general. This is not a limit test. It's very general here. Qualified plans. So maybe this is your 401k or your SEP IRA or your simple account or your 401k or your KEO. Qualified plans must follow ERISA, Employee Retirement Income Security Act. It was originally established in 1960.